Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Welcome to ConnieRae'sCraftRoom.com. Today's craft share is going to be these gorgeous boxes using the delightfully detailed laser cut Specialty Designer Series paper. Wow, that's a big mouthful, isn't it? The Designer Series paper, the lace, actually comes like this, and I'll move these out of the way. These are 3x3 boxes, by the way, but I'll show you how to make them. This is the paper. This is a 12x12. Okay. I'm not going to use a 12x12, and I thought to myself, I don't want to waste it, so how am I going to utilise this? So I came up with this idea to actually stick it onto a piece of coloured cardstock and make a box and lid out of it, and I'll show you how I've done that. This Designer Series paper is absolutely beautiful. There's card fronts, and then there's the 12x12 as well, but like I said, I'm not going to use it. So I will utilise it without wasting it in the best way I know how. So first of all, I'm going to use Pacific Point for the top, and I'm using black for the bottom. I'll just bring in my scoreboard. Okay, the black is the bottom is going to be 7 3/16 by 7 3/16 on both sides, and then you're going to score at 2 inches all the way around on all 4 corners. So score, 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 and score. For the lid is going to be 6 1/4, and you're going to score at 1 1/2 all the way around again. And then we're going to burnish our lines. Just get on my scoreboard, which I've already done for the base and for the lid as well. And so before I do any cutting, I will show you how to apply the lace to the lid. Okay, so here I've actually got some already applied to my lid after I've burnished and scored it. But what I've done is I've taken a piece of the paper, the laser paper, and I've cut it at 7 inches all the way around. So I've just used a pair of scissors and I've cut 7 inches. I've just marked it at the top and marked it on the other, and I've just cut out 7 inches, just so that I can cover the lid properly with a bit of an overlap so that I can trim it. And what I've done after that point, and I've used multi-medium matte, this one here from Ranger, because it dries matte and it doesn't show through. If you use Tombow, you can use Tombow if you're really good at applying it. You just want to make sure that it doesn't come over to the other side of the actual cardstock if you're going to use Tombow, because it will shine, it will be all shiny. So if you can get some multi-medium matte, just use that and just put it on these parts that are obvious. So what I've done here, I'll use this to point it out. There's some really big pieces here that are a part of the design. So basically what you're going to do is all over the design, you're going to put on the biggest parts all over it, you're going to put a little bit of glue on all of them, and that will be enough to stick it down on top of the lid. And that's all you do. And there is vanilla on one side and Whisper White on the other. I like the Whisper White, and I'll be using the Whisper White, so I'm going to glue on the vanilla side, which I've already done. So I've done that and I've stuck it down, because it does take a little bit of time, but you don't take too long because your glue might dry out on you, but you want to make sure that you get enough glue to hold it down so it doesn't come apart. So I've done that, I've stuck it down, and it's covering my box perfectly. So now I'm going to trim it off. You can see on the other side here that it's got an excess of it, which is what we wanted, because I wanted to make sure it's covered completely before I go scoring, or before I go cutting the box lid itself. That little bit probably needs a little bit more glue, maybe. And you will find bits that stick up, but that's okay, because when you've finished gluing it all down, you can just go back and do it all, bits and pieces that you may have missed. And that will happen because it is very detailed, as it says. a little bit here as well. Doesn't seem to be stuck down. I probably rushed it because being on camera you want to try and get it all done in a certain amount of time, as we do. So I'll just put a bit more on it just to make sure it stays down. And then trim it. Very easy to trim. Look at my fingers, they're just absolutely grotty. I've been mucking around with this for a while now. There we go. So as you can see, it works perfectly. It's all stuck down, and then you just want to probably go over it just before you do any more work on it, just to make sure that all the bits that you want stuck down are stuck down. It's probably not going to come off. If you pull the box and tear it, it's going to come off. Obviously it's going to ruin the box, but I have found with the designs that I've done, the boxes themselves, I've had no problem with any of them. You can see that they're actually stuck on really well, so there's no issue whatsoever. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, so that should be, there's a couple here that I must have missed a few in my rush. So I'll just quickly glue them down, because you don't want it to catch on things either. There we go. And like I said, the mat will dry clear, so it doesn't really matter if you get a little bit on, whereas the Tombow won't. Okay, so I've stuck that down, and now we're going to flip our box over, and we're just going to cut the box itself. So I'll do the base. We're just cutting up, notching in your basic box. If you need a box and you don't really particularly want this size, but you want to do this same design, I would suggest you go to Poodles. She's got stacks and stacks of box ideas there, and I'm pretty sure this is probably where I got this one from. So you will have lots of options available to you. You don't have to do a big one like this, but this isn't overly big. This is a good size. So just go round. Don't go up and down, go round when you're cutting, so that your box itself will seal properly and you won't have an overlap that looks really ugly. And of course I'm going to use Tombow on my gluing, because Tombow's really good and strong for this. I like Tombow. You just can't risk it on a design that you may be able to see through. So I think I need a heavier Tombow. Oh no, I've got a few, but they're getting light. Okay. And a bit more. Okay, so this is the base, and we're going to just bring it up and join right on the corner, just like that, on all four sides. So you've got this nice smooth finish. And it's quite a sturdy box. It'll hold just about anything, I think. And you've always got the option of putting a bit of ribbon around it as well, if you don't think it's going to hold. But it's quite a solid box, because the cardstock is really solid too. There we go. Nice and solid. And we'll put that aside to dry while we do the other lid. So we've got this here, we've stuck this on, which is great. So we're going to go around and do exactly the same with the lid. So we're going to cut up. We're going to cut through the lace, because we're not going to be using it on this particular area. So don't worry if a bit of it falls off. turning around like a pinwheel at the same time. And again, I'm going to use Tombow to stick it down, and I'll probably put a little bit extra on this particular lid because I do want it to stick down, and I want it to, you're going to be putting it over the lace, so you want to make sure it's going to stay down. So we'll put enough on there, but not to make sure it doesn't sort of squeeze out all over the place. And you don't want it to squeeze through. It's really a very easy box. It's not hard at all. And once you've got the hang of working with the actual lace, which is really delicate, you will be fine. All right, so we go back to this one, which is the one we started. And again, we're just going to stick that down and just hold it for a bit, just to make sure it grabs. See how you've got a little bit of this sticking up here? That's fine. Just grab your glue and just put a little bit more glue on it, and then just stick that down as well, and make sure it's the multi-medium matte, not the Tombow, that you're going to use, so that you don't so it dries matte. Okay, and any other pieces you might be able to trim them off or stick them down as you're going, or come back and do a final look at it and stick down them. And you don't want to use too much glue in the sense where you're going to make it damp. So, and the last one. Okay, some of this glue, I think I left it in between taking a few shots because I made a few errors and had to retape. So I think I left it in between. I'm just thinking, oh, it's going to stick, but it's not. But it's almost. There's just a few pieces that aren't quite stuck. So we'll just go back and quickly stick them. That'll be fine. There we go. I think my glue dried in between takes because I made a couple of errors. There you go. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, there's another little one there. It is a little bit fiddly, but I think it's kind of worth it because it's got this great effect. Absolutely amazing. And you know, like I said, you know, when you buy something, you don't use it all sometimes, but you don't want to waste it either. So oh, sorry, went out of camera shot there. Okay, that looks good. Oh, there's another piece here. I did miss a few pieces, I think, in my rush, so I do apologise for that, guys. Okay, I think that's good though. All right, so that really, whoop, should go on the lid on top of the box really well. Nice snug fit and a really lovely looking box. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit of decorating, and there shouldn't be much more that you have to do other than that on the box. So for my decorations, I have used some stamp sets, and I will tell you what they are. So for this one, we're going to be using a piece of, we're going to be using Treat Time stamp set, and I have used a couple of them, which are all fingers and thumbs tonight. Okay, I've used the Happy Birthday on this one, Happy For You, and I've also used this one. It's a real treat being a friend with you. So I've got the Happy For You one out, so I'll use that. And I have cut out using the 2 scallops of our frames, our frame sets that we've got, the scallop frame sets for the squares, and I have used Whisper White for the actual, what do you call it, the sentiment, and then I've also used the silver glimmer paper for the base of it to put under there. So I'm just going to quickly stamp this now. I'll just move this down a bit so you can still see them and enjoy them while I just quickly do this, just using your Memento. And this one, or you could use a blue on that, it's entirely up to you. Okay, put some dimensionals. Oh, knocking everything over. This is what happens when you rush, because people don't like really long videos, so most of the time you're trying to get it done in a certain amount of time so that you can actually watch it, and you've got the time to watch it, which is a big key thing, isn't it? Okay, I'm just using my little liner-upper thing here because I'm hopeless at lining things up. So you've got the frames noted, and I'm going to use a few more dimensionals to stick this one on. And that glimmer paper is just, wow, beautiful. It's just so bright and glimmery. Good coming up for Christmas. Well, it's only 4 months away. Goodness me. Okay, so we're just going to stick this one on, and I will try and get it straight, which is always an issue for me. There we go. Just put that ink out of the way before I put my fist in it, or my elbow, or both. Okay, move that out of the way. And then the next thing I did was I just stamped with the pop of petals, which is this one. I've used this one. Is it that one? No, this one. This is my favourite one. Oh, sorry. That one there, to stick on as well, because that's really nice. And I think I used Smoky Slate to actually do the flower. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate because it's just a little bit softer for the flower. So I'm using a different stamp because I can't find my Smoky Slate on my Stampin'Up, but that's okay. It all works the same. Okay, that one, and you need your punch, which is a matching punch. It comes as a bundle. So this it's the shape of the flower, so that's really good. Saves you having to get out the die machine. And there is a way that this marries up, and you just got to be patient with it, and you will get it. And after you've done about 100 of them, no, after you've done a few of them, you should be fine. Oop. I do love this flower though, it's really pretty. Okay, and I've just flicked up the corners on it a little bit, just gone round on it, and then I have stuck a faceted gem. Is this what they're called? Clear faceted gems. And I've stuck this little one here in the middle. And again, I have put a, oh no, I think I used a glue dot on the back of that one, just to finish it off. Oh, and a bow, and a bow. And so I just bent that up a little bit just to make sure it sits nicely and it doesn't hide too much of the sentiment. And then a little bow using our silver ribbon. Sticks to my nails. Okay, there we go. A little bow. So that is the tutorial. The main part of the tutorial is using that lace and cutting the lace and sticking it down, and it works really well. You just got to go slowly and not rush it, and it'll be fine. And cutting it I hope I mentioned how much I cut of it. I can't remember now. Yes, I did. Okay, I'll have to check the video just to make sure. And I don't really want to have to record it again because I've done it 3 times already. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's really handy to be able to use up something that you may not otherwise have used. So I found it really good in that sense, and it's made some gorgeous little boxes. So thank you very much for joining me. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time on a new tutorial coming up soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.